Hey y'all, I'm Derek and welcome back to 31 Days of Found Horror. Today we've got another short movie. It's 30 minutes long and it's called Where's Caroline? With a name like that, I sort of think it's going to be the found footage version of Taken. So, let's get started. Meh. So the Providence is, in November of 2012, this camera was found in the woods by these cabins, and the police think it's a hoax. But the police took the footage and edited it down and have presented it to us. And then we meet our two characters. There's a girl named Georgie, and I couldn't help it because this is how my brain works. Every time she was on the screen, I went, "Hiya, Georgie." And then there's Adam. And they've decided they're going demon hunting on Halloween to these abandoned cabins in the middle of the woods. Then the next few minutes are just them playing around with their equipment. They're playing with the flashlights, they're playing with the cameras. Pogue is playing with a skull. Then it cuts to 6:13 p.m. on October 30th. And they're driving into a reservation and they're going to go looking for these cabins. Good job, Pogue. And then we get the lore of the movie. In 1926, there was a lonely photographer heiress named Caroline. She was an heiress, but she was also known as a photographer. Okay. And she practiced the occult, so she built all these little cabins around the woods for her demon friends. Okay. So it's supposed to be an urban legend, but it's getting convoluted as hell. And then she began killing people, because apparently she turned into the mime that should have been in Wendigo, a Slender Man movie. Life is cruel, ma petite, I must kill you. I'm sorry, that was funny. Georgie and Adam go looking for these cabins, they find them, and it's obvious it's an old campground. Now it's saying it's 11:53 at night, and Adam gives us a little bit more lore. Apparently, the police break into Caroline's studio downtown because she hasn't paid rent. Which, if she's an heiress, shouldn't she be able to own the property? And they find all these pictures of dead bodies. So they immediately rush to one of her cabins and they find a dead boy. And then they run to her house and they kill her. And apparently, if you stand at the top of the basement stairs in her house and say, "Where's Caroline?" 3 times, she'll show herself. So it's like a Bloody Mary sort of thing. So then they're walking up to Carolyn's house and there's a cut to disguise the fact that they've completely changed locations. And they end up at an abandoned house. And so most of it is just them walking around the house, taking random shots of things. They go up to the attic and Georgie freaks out Adam with a jump scare. Then they go down to the basement. They find the door to the basement. They open it, they see the stairs, and they do, "Where's Caroline? Where's Caroline? Where's Caroline?" And nothing happens. So they go down, and they find a box full of negatives. So they pull out the box and start looking at the negatives, and at this point, Georgie's getting really, really scared, but Adam really wants to look at all the negatives because apparently they've switched. Originally, Georgie was the strong one, and Adam was the scaredy cat. Now they seem to be flipping. But during the investigation, Adam accidentally breaks one of the negatives. And I should have mentioned this beforehand because it really irritated me, but Adam's wearing a fedora, and I don't know, that just irritates me nowadays. I used to wear fedoras, it's true. If you actually look in the first season of Bad Movie Friday Night, I actually had a fedora. I don't wear them anymore because I realized only certain kinds of people wear them, and I'm not that certain kind of person. I think he's wearing it because he wants to look younger, but anyways. So he breaks one of the negatives, and he's like, "Oh, I broke one of the negatives," and his fedora flies off his head for no reason. So he's like, "We gotta get out, we gotta get out." So they're running up the stairs, but Georgie's missing. Ooh. So Adam slowly goes down into the basement, step by step, inch by inch, calling out for Georgie. "Georgie, hiya, Georgie." And then he turns around and we get a jump scare of Georgie in corpse paint going, "Rawr!" And that's where the movie ends. Then there's a title card that says the families of the two characters put out missing persons reports. The police don't believe that this footage is real, it's been doctored. And once this footage came to light, there was a petition going around to permanently tear down these cabins, but because of superstition, no one signed it, so they're still up there. And yeah, that's basically the end of the movie. All in all, it wasn't bad, it was just meh. I mean, you see how quickly we're getting through it today. Sure, it's a 30-minute movie, but it's just meh. If there was something I could change, I would probably change the age of the characters, because the characters are like in their late 30s, early 40s. But I think that this storyline would have worked better if it was just a couple of kids doing a Halloween bender trying to freak themselves out. That would probably make it a bit more engaging. Other than that, it's just a meh ghost story. I've seen better. But on the other side, I've seen a hell of a lot worse. But also, it takes you out of the illusion that this is raw footage when it specifically states in the providence that a third party has edited the footage. So it loses that sense of trust because we don't believe it to be raw footage. We already know it's been doctored. And then you say that it was doctored and then edited again. So, yeah. I would have just left that part out. So have you seen this movie? If you have, leave me a note down below and tell me what you thought about it. And of course, if you want to see this movie, it will be linked in the description. So, that's it for this episode of 31 Days of Found Horror. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. And come back tomorrow for another found footage nightmare.